I think we all stay standing for a moment of silence. Today is 9/11. You know, 18 years ago, a lot of people died in New York City. So I think we ought to bow our heads and say a little prayer. Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, roll call.
Councilman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman Eggles?
Here.
Councilman Petrucci?
Here.
Councilman Stein?
Here.
Councilman Tashon? Councilman Bodadian?
Here.
President Falls.
Here. Okay, preliminary announcements. Do we have any preliminary announcements tonight? Seeing no preliminary announcements, we will move on. I believe there are any invited guests tonight. Just the guests here are the Munhall residents. Okay, and okay, council items for agenda. Joe, do you want to talk about this one first with travelers?
Yeah, we had a water main break last year on Washington Street, and our water came down damaged, did some damage to the block path. They called me last November. The travelers called me, which is their insurance, called me last November and said, hey, would you like to split the cost of this path and we'll fix it together? I said, no, that's not in our budget, it's not into our plan, so we're not interested. They dropped it and nothing happened. So Bob and I addressed the situation and we said, well, let's go get the money from travelers and for that path, and we can fix it ourselves for less, we feel. So now we have a $23,375 that they're offering us to fix it, and we'll have to sign a release them from any further costs. So
Are we expecting that to be close to the cost, Joe? Or do we-
less.
Less?
Just the
We're gonna do it ourselves, right, Bob?
Yes.
In-house. Good.
So if we do not end it here with this, and we don't end it by November, we don't sign this by November, we'll have to take them to court to get our monies.
Sounds good, then we'll move on. Okay, number 2.
Last month, we talked about getting an ordinance where we can give tickets for people who don't cut grass, have abandoned cars, another way to enforce what people should be doing on their own properties. So Greg put together an ordinance and some fee structures. They're all in all your packets. I'd like everyone to look at them. Next week, we're only going to advertise for the ordinance. So we have some time to add. I know Dave already added abandoned cars on properties to give the ticket to. So if there's anything else that's in here that anyone feels, and I'll get you one, Pat, to feel that we need to add, we can do that. But next week we'll just vote to advertise.
Question. You said abandoned cars on properties. So the car apparently abandoned on the street. That's on the street. We can tow it.
Police, yeah, that's police issue.
Okay, yeah.
They've handled private property, we handle anything on the public road.
Okay.
3, payment of police retirement MMO, payment of Munhall retirement MMO, and payment of police retirement MMO. These are just things we have to do with the vote to release the money, put them into the pension funds.
It's the standard every year this happens.
Right. The police retirement is the defined benefit plan for public works. The Munhall retirement MMO, I have this wrong on the agenda, first of all. We didn't fix it, or at least we didn't fix it on mine. Did we fix it on yours?
You didn't get a new copy.
We didn't fix it.
What's wrong?
Yeah, we did. We fixed it on that one. Just follow the agenda.
Sorry, Joe, I didn't give you a new copy.
That's all right. I
Right
didn't.
numbers.
Yeah, they're the right numbers. Mine isn't.
We have.
Mine
Joe.
isn't correct.
When the state aid should be coming in, when next?
September. Yeah,
Third week
we'll get it
September.
September. We have to.
Do we know what that number's gonna be?
Not off the top of my head.
Will that cover the MMO?
No, this is what we need to add in addition.
That's in addition to
Yeah.
the state aid.
Right. Gee, move forward in process auction. We talked, last year, we talked about when we went with the new insurance agent, they made us, they wanted a list of all our properties. And I didn't trust that our properties that we had were all correct. How do I know that we didn't? So I contacted the county and they gave us a list. And there were a few, there was like a good bit of properties that weren't under our coverage. It doesn't mean we weren't, if something happened, we weren't covered, we were. However, when you itemize each property, it's less expensive, and then you have any secrets moving forward. So Dave, Bob, and I went out and traveled all these properties, and we came with 9 different properties that we felt, why do we have these? Somebody may want these properties. For instance, there's one on McWhinney in Virginia, 2 different properties, 2 different parcels. Somebody could build a house on there. It's a nice corner lot. And then some other ones are right next to somebody where they might want to extend a yard, so forth and so on. So these 9 yards, or 9 parcels, are the ones that we felt that we can auction off if anyone's interested. So again, next week, all we'll do is authorize the solicitor to move forward with the process to auction off these properties.
And the one the guy that's been asking me about's on that list. The one I've been making calls on, yeah, I think it's in James Street, right?
Did we set any minimum bids on any of these? No, like if someone bids $1, we're gonna give it to them? If nobody else bids?
The question is, do we want, if they bid $1 and they take it, we put it on the tax rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't, I'm just saying, I mean, should we like look at $100 minimum bid? Bidding starts at $100 minimum.
My theory on that was Greg has done this before, however, he leaves us to that.
Who's the auctioneer? Do we have, I'm just asking. Right, because, maybe we should get enough money to at least pay for the auctioneer.
I'm not quite sure we use an auctioneer.
I don't know how you do that.
I think
I think we still bids, like still.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, get them back on the tax rolls, right?
Every so often, the towing request for proposals come about, just,
Can I have ask a question about the format you're gonna auction the properties off with? You mentioned an auctioneer.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think that they use that. I think Joe said about the sealed bids, but we'll find out from Greg for sure on that though.
So we're just.
But I think it's sealed bids. Advertisements would be, for instance, like in the Valley Mirror, and usually it's the neighbors next door that want it or.
I'm just curious, because he had mentioned an auction, I thought, well,
Yeah.
that may drop the price up a little bit if you have people interested, if you have an auction, but.
That's something we can ask Greg on next week.
Okay.
Maybe we'll.
I'm not over
My
the
question to you, I didn't know how they were doing it.
Several friends that buy houses to flip them or turn them into Airbnbs. And apparently there is a process downtown. I don't know if it's every Monday or once a month, but there's a room and then property comes up and you have to have your hand money, your 10% with you, and it's just an auction. That's all.
Sheriff's sale.
Right, yeah, right. So are we looking to do something outside of that?
yeah,
Okay.
we own these properties. There's no reason for us to own these properties. We acquired them over the years. There's no reason for us to own these properties. All we have to do is take care of them.
Okay.
And they're really not something that we can use.
I mean, if somebody else is willing to, even if it's a small parcel, and somebody else is willing, to buy it, and they're gonna cut the grass rather than sending, our public works out, because it is our property, we have to cut the grass as it is now.
And for instance, there's a lot. You can't just go build a garage on the lot. However, the person next to it buys the lot and they can go through the county and combine those lots. Now they can put a garage on the property.
Are all these properties just lots, or are there buildings on some of them, or? No, they're all just lots. Okay, that's easy. It makes it easy.
Most of these
I'd rather
are,
save that for at the end, because this is a workshop, we really don't
Yeah.
open up. But at the end, if you have some input on this, I'll listen to it.
Thank you.
I would say most of these properties that we're talking about, no one even knows that the borough owns the properties.
Problem.
Stormwater Authority. We talked about this in a meeting we had with the sewer authority last week. Colin and I attended a meeting about a year ago on Stormwater Authority. in Pennsylvania, we had to separate the sanitary and the sewer, and the storm and the sanitary. It put a lot of wear and tear on some older storm lines. So how do we go out there? Right now, we don't have a real good budget or a good game plan of what we're going to do to replace all these lines. If you remember when the sewer authority went into, they had a consent decree that said, we need to do this. This is how we're going to go and do this. They had to go and get some bond money, and they had to do different things to build out and fix an old system. So the question arises, how are we going to do this? And what do we plan on? We're reacting. As we all know, what we talked about the last couple of years is the issue on Shady Avenue. That is this discretionary money that we use for that. That was nothing that was budgeted to use. So that when we do something like that, that just pulls it from something else that maybe we were planned on doing. So what the only reason I put this on here is we need to start talking about creating a stormwater authority. And the way that works is the sanitary authorities would be able to be the authority that manages this as well. A lot of them work hand in hand, but it would be additional fee that we get charged, whether it's $10, $5, whatever we would just pay to go, and that money would just go towards fixing the storm.
Joe, does it have to be a separate authority?
No.
It has to be, it could be the same authority, it can't be, it gotta be, you can't commingle funds.
Yeah, the borough can't collect any fees for stormwater, okay, but an authority can collect a fee. Don't ask me why it's like that, but in the state of Pennsylvania, the boroughs or cities, they can't collect any fees for stormwater. But if you put it onto an authority, the authority has the right and the power to collect fees, whether it's $1, $10, or whatever.
I just question it, should it be a separate authority?
The majority of them in this state, in the state of Pennsylvania, are both stormwater and
They're one.
They're one.
They're one.
Yeah.
And then the way they work with commercial property is by acreage or whatever, and there's a certain amount, so it works a little bit differently. CDBG 46, that's a county grant that we always get. The last 2 years, we have been fixing in the north and catch basins. If you remember, this year we got we had a $70,000 bid. We got $47,000 or $54,000 from this grant. So year 46 comes out, and Bob, Paula, and I got together and said, okay, let's get our catch basin project together. And it had me thinking, that's a good use for that money in that area. It has to be done in that area. And I just think that Bob, Cullen, and I shouldn't be the ones that are saying this is what we're using that grant money for. So if council feels that we can use it for something else, so be it. I just wanted to bring that to the table. But that's what we use that money for, and we used to do it for demo buildings. Can't do it for demo buildings anymore. Paving projects seem to be, general fund budgeted items. So this is a good way to say, okay, just take out 10 catch basins and fix them.
But they're needed. It's not like we're making up work just to justify this money.
Yeah, we had a change order on a few of them last year that were pretty bad. They were further than we thought, so they became a bigger job, and we just fixed the decks. Pro Champ. We're leaving a lot of money on the table. Abandoned properties, foreclosures, rentals, different things like that. I met with West Mifflin, and they told me to look into this Pro Champ. A few years ago, Council, Rick, you may remember Turnkey, and Turnkey was supposedly going to come in here. They're going to go find all this money for it. It doesn't cost the borough anything, and we're going to keep a portion of it. Turnkey seemed like every year we had to do all the work. They would send the bills out, and they would keep the money. It didn't work. So Greg is looking into Pro Champ right now. I know he didn't like the contract, the agreement the way it was. He wanted some things worded. They did do what we asked them to do. And he'll talk about more of that next week, exactly how that's gonna work.
As long as they're not like a one-man show like Turnkey.
Right.
Who expected our office to do all the work.
Not,
Okay, there's no contract with them? Okay, good.
we haven't used them in 2 years.
I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Ordinance 1596, amending ordinance 1396, will be tabled till October due to an advertising glitch. And Peoples never came with a figure of what they're going to give us for Summerfield and Roberta. Just so everyone knows what that was. Summerfield and Roberta was going to be paid. Gas company said, came in a week before and said, well, we got a project to do here. So we went out and met with them and we said, oh, that's fine. How can we make your job easier? We're paving these. They said, well, it'd be easier if we go in the street, but the problem is we go in the street, that we gotta pave your whole street. Well, no, we agreed that they just bring it up to the base repair so we can continue with our paving project. It doesn't disturb it at all. But they're gonna give us a payment of what they would have saved by not ripping up all the sidewalks. So we're still working with them. Colin was talking to them today. Hopefully we have a figure and we can go from there. So hopefully we can put 11 back on for Wednesday.
But the paving's moving forward next week, right?
Paving, last I heard, Liberoni was scheduled for the 16th, which is Monday.
I got a question on this ordinance that we're gonna adopt about the garbage and tickets we're gonna hand out. One of the things on there is rubbish out before 5 p.m. the day before pickup. I know where I live, that's a big problem. Not big, but it's a problem.
None of this stuff
How do you
is,
expect to manage that or
yeah.
enforce it?
This is something that was together, that we put together for council to look at, so they can come back and make those things, make those changes. Like abandoning cars on private property, we want to add that to it, we will add that to it. You want us to take that off, we'll take it off. All Greg did when he did this, he took something that he had from another borough or something that he had of what kind of tickets are in there, and he just put everything together. That is for us to design however we see fit.
Well, it's a good thing, but how are you gonna enforce it? I have no problem with it, but enforce it.
You gotta be adopted for it.
Yeah,
If it's not adopted, you're good problem.
Well,
I'm just asking a question, that's all.
And I'm
question enforcement will be done.
a lot of that.
Because, especially after 5 o'clock, I mean, people, or before 5 o'clock, so it's around there. But after 5 o'clock, everybody's, we have around the police.
I'm sure we would use logic, and, if it's a 4:30 or, what they don't want people to do, what has been done, is you pick up your garbage on Thursday morning, and people are putting it out to the curb on Tuesday.
I mean, there are a lot of good things on here, though. I mean, there's a lot of good things, that could help out, even if it's a smaller fine, it could help out with really, but mostly on nuisance type things,
I got another
Snow,
question.
ice, grass.
I got another question on paving too. Are we gonna be able to pave that triangle down by the library this year?
We were trying to get some change orders from Liberoni on the paving projects. There was a few, because of the gas company, because of scheduling with Liberoni, we're kind of getting backed up. So we just told them, stick with the program right now that we put in place, so we don't get backed up anymore. We got to get it done. Now, we can go out there and bid some other streets by the end of the year, and now we have a time crunch of when the asphalt plans close.
Hey, Jim, one thing I have, actually, Mark Fallon told me about this, the Alley Getting Together program.
Application has been completed.
It has been completed? Thank you.
Question back about the paving you guys were talking about. Munhall Borough, is that alley that the group was gonna be done on?
That was the same, that was one of them. Harvey Avenue Extension, where we worked on, we wanted to get that done because of the curb. and then the Park Square. Those are all three projects that we wanted to add on. They never, Liberoni, when we met with them, they never came back and said, okay, this is what it's gonna cost. And because of the time constraints, we wanna get this stuff done, this year. We just said, get the job done now, we'll rebid it if we have to. Now, we can't tell Colin to go back and rebid it. But we may just wanna take our time and put that stuff on the first thing at the beginning of the year. We will get some very good quotes, very good prices if we bid it out now, and then they can start whenever they want, because they can schedule when they want. So even if we use that as a different, we maybe have two different projects, one now, we give them one now, and they start at the beginning of the year. And then we look at what else is going in.
I've got several other calls about the alley behind the flower shop on Main Street by Avers, that alley that comes down to Caroline Street, right directly behind Dr. Spellman's building and all there. That alley is pretty bad. I don't know if someone wants to look at it again, but it's another alley that needs to be prioritized and take a look at. I can't tell you how many people complain to me about that particular alley.
Are the borough doing alleys? Is the borough doing alleys or?
Yeah, we did an piece of Acorn Way.
You doing alleys?
We did that one Acorn Way, we did something else too.
Harvey Street up there, by Harvey Street, did that alley.
Yeah, that's Acorn Way.
And then we did the other one over,
Sycamore Way, towards Sycamore Way.
and then we did the, off of Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did some. But
Every year you should, tackle some of the alleys. Because there's a lot of alleys, there's no doubt.
Joe, there's another item, an agenda item, someone RFP, could we do
I
it?
said that.
I had no, apparently the mayor is spending
You probably were talking during that part of the
conversation.
I'm sure you two were just talking about me while you're.
I'll talk about.
Can I bring up something else? Well, not on the agenda at all, I sort of wanted to talk about it in the beginning, so. The three mayors, we met at Sioux Valley High School this past week, and we talked to the seniors. This is something we started here this is our second year doing it, and it was very good. We get our state rep there, we get our state senator there, and we get to talk to the kids. Mainly all seniors we talk to, and we pass out things, we give them information, we ask them, hey, does anyone of you guys want to get involved? We invite the children, the seniors, to really get involved. And so, this year we passed out a junior council person form. It's a junior council, there's programs off throughout the state for this. So, we asked them to fill it out. So we had a couple Munhall residents, strictly Munhall residents, that gave us their names. But one in particular, he filled the form out and wants to be part of this program. And I'm working with Roseanne on this, and I just got this stuff today, so I'm not versed on all the other students. There's about 5 or 6 others that want to be involved, which is great. So this person is Trevon Epps. And Trevon, would you stand up, please, and introduce yourself? Come on up and talk. Speak a little louder. We can't.
There's a mic for a big guy, you can speak a little louder than that.
Speak up.
I'm Trayvon Epps, 17 years of age. I attend Stuyvesant High School. I'm also a volunteer firefighter. I'm on a volunteer firefighter.
And if I'm not mistaken, you play a little football.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I thank you for coming tonight. This shows that he's serious about doing this. And I'm hoping we bring a couple more students in. So if council is willing, I think we should swear him in as a junior council member this coming meeting.
Does it mirror the council? If there were 7, we would take up to 7, or?
I don't really think
I'm
we
just
get that many people.
They can get
Three
the
councils. but I think I'm proud of him to come up and do this.
I'm 84 almost back.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor, could you come next week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe the mayor can swear you in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I'll go through the list, and if there's any more students that want to be involved, I'll call them, and we'll get them involved as well.
One of the things, Trevor, what are you doing on Saturday, September 21st? I need some help for Community Day. That may be one of your
And
first.
you do get community hours for that.
You get community hours for your school, and I will, anybody that puts a few hours in does get a little certificate for lunch.
Ada will be there, Tony Salamblack will be
So
there.
I'd like to have you come there on Community Day, and then we can other nights do it. September 21st, Community Day, you guys all know what it is, hope you see the signs, hope you can make it. If anybody would like to volunteer to help out at Community Day, we need help, council, residents,
I think,
Javon, some friends, some of the firemen, young firemen maybe.
Trevon, do you have football practice on Saturday? You don't.
Is he
I
working
think
your
they
group?
have a Saturday game.
Let me have it for a
Two
little-
Saturday games this
You
year.
can only have your group for, you can have the whole day.
Yeah, I know, I'm not sure
I
what
can
they
get some
are.
help too.
Trey,
I'll be there.
He said you'll be working the fire department booth, so make sure you see us. You still need community hours? Well, you'll get them for that.
Thank you for coming, Trevon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good to meet you.
we done?
I'm gonna open up for some people to ask some questions, but it's not voting, we can adjourn,
Can I make that motion to adjourn?
Before you move
We don't vote, so there's no voting for this. So we're still gonna listen to you, it's still gonna be public. Please step up to the microphone though, I've been asked, everybody steps up to hear about it tonight.
I'm going to ask, just because it's after the last two meetings, and I'll just make a mention now, that I think when you know that there are people who would like to ask questions, I think it's highly rude, and I don't know if it's part of Robert's rules, that you adjourn the meeting, and some people walk around and some people walk out, and you've always said, Rob, I'll stay. And
I am staying, everybody's staying.
I know, but I think everybody, we listen to all of you, and we appreciate if you listen to us.
Well, this is
Please
a
don't
workshop.
adjourn.
This
I
is
know,
a
but
workshop,
this goes
the
to
workshop
next
is
week, too.
really for the council to discuss the issues for the next meeting.
Okay.
And we're
Well,
supposed to
I'm
address it next week, and I mean, what I'm doing is perfectly legal. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing, I mean, there's nothing wrong.
Well, this is what I mean. People walk out, and if I have a question.
What do you got?
There's a
First
workshop.
workshop.
Another thing is, if someone wants to talk, my wife was on the school board for 12 years. If you want to talk, all you gotta do is call Becky and tell her you want to be on the agenda.
I am.
And if
Wait,
it's not,
wait,
I mean, anybody in the audience that wants to talk, they should get on the agenda.
For a workshop meeting?
No, not for a
Oh,
workshop.
okay.
No, she's saying council meetings. Yeah, council meetings, you get on the agenda,
Right.
and it's up to council to decide. They can get, they used to have a 3-minute clock. This way, it's a more controlled type of meeting, so that not every people don't talk out. That's what.
Unfortunately, I mean, it really seems to be when, and I've done this, and you know I've done it, and everybody here that's sitting back here knows I've done it, and everybody on council knows I've done this in the past. When I've let people speak up during the meetings, it usually ends up into a lot of hollering, yelling, screaming, not every time, but sometimes, people talking out of, just jumping in, and I have to have some type of, control over the meetings, how I'm gonna run it.
I totally
Because
understand.
we've all seen it happen here. I mean, we've all seen it happen.
We've come a long way.
Well, we've all seen it happen here, and I don't, that's why I don't open it up during the workshops. And then somebody that's on the agenda speaks. I've never stopped anybody from speaking at this meeting. I've never told nobody, you can't speak. Well, maybe one. But he doesn't come to the meetings anymore. Right. Only because he called me, he swore at me. There was one guy that swore at me one time, but that's.
Okay, what I was going to ask is, you can't ask questions if you don't have the agenda beforehand.
You didn't get the
So,
agenda? I didn't know you
here's
had
the
it.
agenda, and tonight you said about the auctioning of properties that we own that could be auctioned. So I would have asked Mr. Barbola, but can we get a list of the properties to be auctioned before next Wednesday so we could, I'd love to know
I think
the
we can,
properties.
sure.
Okay,
I think we could probably even put that on the website.
I can do that.
There's no secret what properties they are.
Right
There's
here.
no secret.
All yours.
Here it is, and maybe we could even put that on the website, Becky?
Yeah, I can absolutely do that.
That's a good question, but yeah, we can put that on the website too for people to see, but yeah, there's no secret what properties.
okay. When you mentioned about, working on the ordinances, I am highly in favor of getting some ordinances written down, and many of us, I think, are. Because if there are no written rules, you really can't defend anybody's stance. But my thought is, I know Mr. Cannon and Mr. Vashik are going to compile them. I will ask you, and if Mr. Vashik is here, I would ask him, would you please consider having some input from taxpayers? Because I can't imagine you thinking of all the things. The one thing I definitely want in an ordinance is about animal control.
It's, well, one is,
We have-
there is some things in there for that.
But I'm just saying to you, right now,
Mhm.
I have 4 feral cats running around. I am highly allergic to cats, as is my grandson. I can't even go out of my place, because I've got these feral cats. I'm telling you, I have a cage in my backyard. I'm doing my best. I need
The only
ordinances.
problem
So
with that,
I will ask, if you would consider having some people to put some input. As I said to people, I would think all of you would be happy to think somebody would like to help. Because I'm sure sitting up there, you get a lot of complaints and not much recognition. If you knew that maybe 4 people would be willing to meet with your committee, 4 people would be willing to meet with you, you might learn something, and I might learn something, and they might learn something from each other.
You can have all the ordinances you want. If you don't enforce them, you might as well just throw them out the window.
I agree with you.
And I like to speak to what you're saying there too. Anytime these committees are meeting, they're public meetings. You're invited to come to any of the public meetings. If there's a rec meeting, the public's welcome to come.
I
If
know
there's
that.
finance meetings.
Is there an ordinance meeting? I know where the Parks and Rec is. I submitted my name, as did Mrs. Orlando, back in February. We have yet to be told if we're on the committee. All we're asking is, Mr. Dishon said 2 months ago, you got my vote. But there's 7 of you. So I go to a meeting, and she goes to a meeting. We can't do anything. Oh, we're willing to go, and we're willing to try to help. And we're
You
all
help
here
that
on that
community
committee. Pardon me?
You help out community today?
I can't hear you.
Can I get you help out community today?
After Drew plays 2 games of soccer on Saturday.
Okay, we're there too
I plan on
tonight, if you
being
get a
there,
chance, come on
but
down.
you will hopefully see me.
Okay.
But I'm being pulled in about 7 directions, as are all of you. I know that. But all I'm asking is, please consider, I know when the Parks and Rec meeting is, I'm there. I know that finance meeting is canceled Tuesday, that, whatever reason, but I would have been there. I know that, but I don't know when there's an ordinance meeting, because you don't.
There isn't any
Yeah.
ordinance.
Yeah.
There's not one
Yeah,
yet.
that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
But Rainey, you would be invited because they have to be public meetings.
All right,
So you can be there.
think of me, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, come on, step up.
So I only have 2 questions, and maybe because Mr. Barbola left, I want to get the answer to it. When you guys were talking about the authority can collect stormwater fees, and he threw out a number of like $2 to $5, did that mean per taxpayer, or did that, what did he mean?
It's for ratepayers, yes.
Per
So
month, usually
per-
per month.
Per taxpayer per month?
What has to happen first is the
I-
engineers have to come out.
Okay, that falls on time.
Wow.
Dawn, that's never
Falls all
worked
the
anyway, you never break it.
There'll be a fee for
that too.
Just like the $16 at the sewer.
Well, yeah, but the engineers have to come out with the rate study first.
Uh,
They have to, look over the whole town, permeable areas, I mean, where the water is gonna roll off. Probably the ones that are gonna get hit hardest on this, and you know, you hate to say this, but are churches and the school, because they have huge parking lots.
Commercial.
And parking lots, you know, the water doesn't go in anywhere, it runs off, runs into the sewers. So, and this is what it's all about.
But
Yeah,
that's to be determined.
yeah, that's in the future. I mean, we haven't even discussed the merger, or, you know, of us, or, say I'm on the sewer authority, so I know a little bit, just a little. But I mean, that's why we're talking about it. It's probably gonna take, you know, even once we agree that we're gonna do this, it's gonna take at least a year to get everything, you know, going. And this rate study it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what that means. Authorities can't collect the rate for rainwater.
Okay, cool. And then just one other question, when the ordinance for, you know, cars and things on streets, and I guess the borough, the police department will have the ability to do that?
We have the ability to do that.
Yeah, we have the ability
All
now.
this
I think what
all
they're
this
talking
doing-
about doing is making something like what we have. For an abandoned vehicle, we issue a state citation.
Okay,
I think they're talking about doing something more on a local level
okay,
there's certain rules we have to follow for an abandoned vehicle. Time restraints, we have to give them 3 weeks after the first notice before we can tow the vehicle.
okay.
So if we create a different ordinance to, you know, any fines, we only get a minimal amount. They may have to pay a $500 fines and costs. We may see $25 of that as a borough.
Okay,
So if now we created like a local parking ticket years ago, and instead of the state giving the majority of it, we get all of it, but it's a minimal fee. So it's a little less intrusive for the vehicle owner, so I was thinking, I'm guessing that's what they're looking to do here.
okay.
Something that we can do a little quicker, to get a little more result from it faster, and if there are any fines or anything, they go directly to the borough coffers instead of to the state, the EMS fund, everything else that goes to your state citation.
Okay, all right, great. Has anybody, and I'm sure everybody here, you know, would see those 2 white vans parked on, is that 19th or 20th, or, I don't know, right across the street from the building. It's like an Andy's sprinkler service van, and then there's another.
That'd be down there on 18th, yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
You've been there.
Yeah.
I think there's,
Yeah.
she's talking about a commercial vehicle on a sprinkler, like a, you know, a van or a sprinkler.
It's not a
I have to tell you, it's
commercial
not
vehicle.
considered a commercial vehicle.
Just because it has a business name on the side does not make it a commercial vehicle. Commercial vehicle is by size and weight.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a tri-axle would be a commercial vehicle. Can't park that on the street. It's like a big dump truck, a big giant dump truck that, you know, something like that. But a van on with this, you know, with Joe's Tacos on the
Expired.
side does not make it a commercial vehicle.
okay.
Goes by size and weight of the vehicle.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
I think we already did.
I had a motion, but I didn't have a second.
We didn't vote on it?
No.
Oh, let's finish that.
Joe, motion, no second.
Joe motion.
Yes, yes,
All in favor, somebody saying aye?